Welcome everyone to another episode of Live with Tiffany. I am Tiffany Lanier, and today I'm really excited because I'm taking you outside of my house and into someone else's home. I am with the beautiful, the amazing, gracious, lovely, and also brilliant Jules Aron, who is a health coach and the author of 4 books, right? 4. Zen and Tonic, Vegan Cheese Book, and now the Pretty Zen collection, which is Nourish and Glow and Fresh and Pure. So I'm excited to just be in her presence and all of her brilliance here today. So thank you so much, Jules.
Thank you. That was probably the best intro I've ever heard.
Today we're here to talk to Jules really about holistic health, her journey, what this has looked like for you, and how you started creating these awesome recipe books to help people get their health life together.
Definitely. Yes, yes.
So share with us a little bit of the journey. How did you become the health coach author of these amazing books?
Well, it wasn't a direct journey, for sure. I started off, I was obsessed with magazines, women's magazines, fashion, fitness, whatever, I loved it. And so I studied communication and journalism and did a graduate degree in publishing and worked in the field for quite a few years until I realized that that was not my ultimate journey. And it wasn't after it was after I took this mind-blowing yoga retreat in Mexico, where we basically ate off of the land, and lived in like these little tents off of the water and meditated on right on the ocean every morning.
Sounds awesome.
That I realized that, no, something needs to change.
Yeah.
And so I went on to do 2 other yoga teacher trainings and studied Ayurveda, and then moved on to Chinese medicine and specifically Qigong, and then holistic nutrition.
So the evolution was real.
Evolution, yes, yes.
The evolution of the knowledge that you acquired through all those teachings are now like infused into
Absolutely.
into your work,
Yes,
which is a
yes,
beautiful
yes,
thing.
Yes.
So when you Zen and Tonic is the first book.
Yes, Zen and Tonic, the art of healthful imbibing.
So why Zen and Tonic?
Zen and Tonic, you know what? The name just came to me. You know, it was basically Zen is what I inspired to live my life as, and so I wanted to infuse that in everything. And I was a bartender for many, many years, putting myself through school, and so it's what I knew best in terms of food groups, let's say. Yes, drinks.
We all know drinks really well.
Yes, exactly. But I was also really obsessed. Like, I didn't like all the sugary sweet drinks and all the sour mixes that were mixed into the conventional drinks out there. And so I was always modifying my own. But I knew there was, and I was on a real big fitness kick for a while and hung out with people that were into fitness. And so, they would eat chicken and broccoli and drink vodka sodas. And I was like, there has to be more to life than just bland food and bland drinks.
Yes.
And so
the movement was created.
Yes, exactly.
And so Zen and Tonic, because we're just talking about it, like you all know what Zen and Tonic is, but it is her recipes for amazing, healthier versions of the cocktails that we drink.
Exactly.
So that's her very first book. So we all need to like make some drinks now and do it better. Because there is a better way.
Yeah.
After Zen and Tonic, you felt the need to then explore cheese. Tell me how. Vegan cheese, not just cheese, but vegan cheese, which is still a little bit of a mystery to me, but I really want to try it.
Well, it seems like so my first book was on cocktails, and then I moved on to cheese. It seemed like I felt the need to cover all the things that as people we really do love and crave and don't want to give up. And so I like to find healthier alternatives for those things. Yeah. So that's where vegan cheese comes in.
I think that's such a great point because I always say that we are all on this journey. there's like a percentage of people who are on this journey of really trying to become healthier, become more conscious in our approach, not only to our foods, but in every area of our life, which I talk a lot about here on Live with Tiffany. And when it comes to food, it's probably the hardest because we're so accustomed to how things taste and how they're supposed to be and the texture of them. Right. And cheese is probably one of those things that we are all accustomed to and don't feel like we can give up or, you know, try to trade as people change their dietary restrictions increase, which happens a lot, but also moving into a more holistic approach with less animal, more plant-based, which is a journey that I'm now embarking on. Right. Yes. I'm embarking on doing more plant-based meals, and so vegan cheese sounds like the way to go. So with vegan cheese, is it made primarily from nuts?
It's primarily made from nuts. Or seeds, so either nuts or seeds, but I also have vegetable cheeses in the book as well, just so that, you know, people with allergies can also partake.
Yeah, that's important. So you're covering all the bases.
I'm trying to, yes.
Covering all the bases.
That is my goal.
As of right now, we have Zen and Tonic, which gives us healthy alternative to our drinks. We have vegan cheese, which is our alternative to the cheese that we consume, so we can start trying that. But now you've come up with 2 new books.
That's right, yes.
And that's the Pretty Zen collection. So let's talk about Pretty Zen. Why and how did it come to be about?
I wanted to bring it back to the first book, Zen and Tonic, and I really wanted to complete the collection, or continue the collection, I should say. And so Pretty Zen, the 2 new books, Nourish Glow and Fresh and Pure, they're about beauty inside and out, natural beauty inside and out. And so Nourish Glow is eating for beauty, and then Fresh and Pure is more about, it's basically a do-it-yourself manual for magical balms and potions
and
for your
elixirs
skin.
And all the things that our body is probably craving. Because we are constantly putting all kinds of reckless things on our skin all the time. 5 or 6 years ago that I started on my conscious journey, becoming woke in so many different areas of my life. First starting with myself and then starting to see these other areas that we've just become so used to by society standards. And my very first job was with an eco-wipe company, and that's where I got to do a lot of research on the products that we use on our skin. And I was just blown away by the amount of toxins and chemicals that go into like our everyday products, our hair products, our lotions, all these things that we're just slapping on ourselves constantly, all day, every day, in so many different ways. And so I began to start transitioning my products out for the better stuff. And even then, there's a couple of things, but you got to weigh out your choices.
Absolutely.
So this is an even better solution to starting to make your own. Which then takes time, so we got to talk about that. Because then there's the time that everyone's like, okay, listen, that sounds magical and all, but I don't have time to be making my own stuff. And so that's something that I also want to share, or have you share with us today. Like, what are some of the benefits of doing this, the time that it might take, and ways for us to start treating ourselves better, really respecting. Is that what it comes down to? Like respecting our body?
Absolutely does. Yes, that's exactly what it is about.
Awesome.
Where do I start?
Well, I know you have your pillars of beauty.
Okay.
Can we start there?
Yes,
so share with us your pillars of beauty.
Well, those are actually pretty straightforward and simple, and we all know them. But if we actually apply them, they actually make a lot of sense and make a huge, tremendous difference in terms of our lives. And those are nutrition and hydration. So nutrition, I mean, we all know what we eat is what we're made of. So
we know that.
Yes. So
we're all working on it,
right?
You are what you eat.
Exactly.
And you're like, I just had that burger and the pizza, and I'm just like,
it's not good. It's not good.
It's not good. We can do better, and Jules is here to help us do better.
Yes, absolutely. And hydration. I mean, look at what happens to a grape when it's dehydrated. do I need to say any more?
Right. But remembering to stay hydrated and drink water. Absolutely. I was pulling an Oracle card the other day, and it said drink water. And I was like, even the cosmos is telling me that I am dehydrated. So I need to do better.
Absolutely. Yes. And I would suggest to people, you know, anytime they feel like, oh, they have a headache coming on, or they're hungry, start with a glass of water.
Yeah.
Start with a glass of water and really clarify what it is that your body needs right now, because most of the time that's all it needs.
Right.
So yes.
Water.
Yes.
That's great.
Yes. Hydration. Next on the list is sleep. I mean, again, very, very simple. We all know this. I mean, we've all pulled all-nighters, and we all know how foggy and ridiculous we are the next day.
And then you add kids to the mix, and I haven't slept in 4 years, so I'm working on it.
Yes. Small naps, whatever you have to do.
Yeah,
just,
naps save lives.
Yes.
Naps are my best friend.
Exactly.
I live by naps, and I suggest everyone gets on a nap routine because we need it. Sleep is important.
Absolutely.
And that impacts our beauty as well as our health.
Yes, tremendously. Next is, what's next? Movement. So, movement, any kind of exercise. We are made to sweat. But that's how we detox. You know, it has to come out of our pores. If we don't do that on the regular, we are congested, just like the highways. You know, we just get more and more congested, and you know, stuff just builds up on our skin, and that's why, you know, we don't get that fresh, glowing look anymore. Yeah. So that's why it's so important to sweat on the daily as possible.
Like these are like the basic things that we all forget.
Know. Yes, we all know.
Like nutrition, hydration, sleep, sweat, and like I haven't sweat in like a couple of months. That's probably a problem.
Yes, we all know these things, but but when we're looking at ourselves in the mirror and we're like, oh, my skin's not, you know, as nice as it used to be, there's why. Start there. The next one is relationships. And I include that one because if we're not happy at home, if we're not happy with our partners, we cannot be happy. And that just translates into our bodies. Our stress levels go up. Cortisol is our stress hormone, and it creates havoc in our systems and on our skin. So that's a huge one. And then finally is meditation or mindfulness, as I like to call it. And so I love this one because, you know, how many clients I've worked with or just people I talk to, they're like, oh, I don't have time to meditate. I don't have time to sit on a cushion and close my eyes. My mind is racing.
Yeah.
All these excuses.
Yeah.
And that's why I include mindfulness into that equation. And it's like, okay, you might not have time to sit on a cushion for 15 minutes, but you have to do the dishes.
Right.
And that's where mindfulness comes in, because while you're washing your dishes, you can focus on the stream of water. You can focus on the beautiful scent of your soap, hopefully organic.
Excuse me. It's an active meditation.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, which helps. I mean, cooking is my active meditation because I just totally zone out.
Exactly. That's a huge one. That's a huge one.
In it. Yes. We talk, you know, on this channel, I have like I'm very an advocate for morning practice, having a morning practice and doing morning, which you know. Yes. I am an advocate for what that looks like, whether you do it in the morning or any part of the day. Really, it's about ritual and slowing down enough to add these things into our lives, because at the end of the day, it's what fuels us. And so when we're wondering why are we so tired, why our skin isn't glowing like we want it to be, why we can't, you know, get up to do things, why we're running around and we're so stressed out and we're angry and we're snapping at people, it's because at the end of the day, you can put the Band-Aid over it, right? We can get all the beauty products that we want and cover up everything. Mm-hmm. We can pretend that we're in loving, gracious relationships. We can fake the funk and try to, like, you know, get 5 hours of sleep and try to be everything to everyone. But at the end of the day, it catches up to you.
Absolutely.
And so the Pretty Zen collection is really about helping you not only slow down to become present to what's necessary, but give you that beauty from the inside out, which then caters to every other aspect of your life.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All of those things.
Yes.
So important. So that's awesome. So those are the pillars of beauty. And just to do a really quick recap. So nutrition and hydration, sleep, movement, meditation and mindfulness. And was there relationships, because they're a work in progress.
Absolutely. Yes,
they are a work in progress. But all of those aspects are a part of your pillars of beauty, but it's really the pillars of existence.
Absolutely.
That's what it comes down to. It's the pillars of existence. So thank you so much for sharing and just really reiterating what's necessary.
Right.
And that's what you can start to get from some of Jules' work. So that's what we're going to do today. We're actually going to be creating some stuff.
Yes, we're going to make some stuff.
What are we making?
Yes, so I'm going to show you like some very, very simple recipes today. Two, as a matter of fact, one that we're going to consume internally and one for our outside glow.
Awesome.
And so I'm going to use matcha. And matcha is just such a big deal these days.
Everyone is
so
on the matcha trend.
Yes. So that's why I figured, this would be a nice thing to feature.
So what is matcha?
So matcha is a concentrated green tea in a powdered form. And they use the very, very early stages of leaf growth to create this product. And what happens with that is like just like with sprouts, when you're eating sprouts, it's got all of the concentrated nutrition in it. So it's so much more powerful in terms of nutrients. It's also just amazing in terms of antioxidants. So if you look at something like berries, which is so antioxidant rich, this has like 10 times the amount as even like an acai berry.
Wow.
So definitely a great thing for our skin.
We need to do matcha.
Yes.
We need to matcha more.
Yes. Also, even though it has caffeine, it calms the mind and the body. So
it's a natural stimulant.
Yes, it's a natural stimulant.
It's better.
Yes, absolutely. It won't give you that crash that coffee will give you.
Awesome.
And so the first one, I figured we'd start with a nice little matcha latte.
Okay.
We can sip on that while we make our next product.
So this would be my first matcha.
Oh, yay! Oh, that's even
Don't tell anybody.
That's so exciting.
I'm so behind the trends. I literally stay behind the trends. I don't know. I'm just like, oh, everyone's doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm such a rebel.
I'm glad I could be your introduction.
So
awesome.
We're going to do that.
Okay. And so let's build it right here. So what we do is I use about a teaspoon. Well, actually, I use probably half a teaspoon because it's pretty powerful. But I'm going to use a whole teaspoon here because there's two of us.
Yeah, that makes sense,
right? So 1 teaspoon of this, and then this is almond meal. So this, let me tell you about this. Almond meal is basically ground almonds. It's also called almond flour.
Yeah.
So, but it's like one ingredient. It's really just ground almonds. And this is what I use instead of using almond milk when I don't have almond milk from the store, because I prefer to make my own almond milk.
See,
yes,
I need to get like Jules. I need to get like Jules and stop buying the almond milk from the store.
Yes, exactly. Yes. And so if you're using, this is like the best trick ever, because it's anybody that says, oh, I don't have time to make my own almond milk. Here you go.
You lied.
Yes.
You can, and there's an easier way.
Yes.
And that's through the mill.
Through the mill, yes. So what you do is you use 1 cup of almond meal with 3 to 4 cups of water, depending on how creamy you want your milk. And you blend it, and that's it. And of course, you can add, a sweetener if you want a sweetener, a little vanilla essence if you'd like, whatever it might be. But those are your basic ingredients for a almond milk, homemade almond milk.
I learned something new today because I feel like I had a health coach a couple of years ago who was like, you can just make your own. And I was like, I can't make, how do you get these almonds to turn into this milk? I just couldn't understand. And this is an easier way.
Yes.
They've already grounded it up for
you.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's beautiful. One step
So how much of that?
So I would say in our case, we're going to do this is a teaspoon, so I'm using more, but it's basically we're doing 1 tablespoon. So half a teaspoon, 1 tablespoon per person. Okay. So, and I'm just going to add a little vanilla to this, you know, just to give us a little thing, a little taste to it. And I'm going to blend this.
Awesome. That's simple.
Yes,
simple
yes,
enough.
with water. I'm sorry. So I'm going to add water to this.
Okay.
And 2 cups of water since there's 2 of us. And I'm blending.
Well, that looks beautiful. Cheers! My first matcha latte. It's happening right here in front of the world. Yeah, I was a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie, but it's actually pretty good. And I can taste a little bit of the honey. You added some honey.
I added some honey
for sweetness.
Absolutely. And you could use coconut sugar or maple syrup if you're going the plant-based way.
And this is an alternative to coffee.
Absolutely. Yes.
I need some stimulant at this exact moment. It's been a long day. Already, it's only 12. So this is delicious.
I'm good. I'm glad you like it.
And I got to do it with you. I mean, I'm honored that my first matcha latte was with Jules Aron. So,
and I'm honored to share that with you as well.
As we are sipping on our matcha lattes, which is purifying our beauty from the inside, we're going to now take the matcha as our main ingredient and start doing a little beauty product that we can also put on the outside of our skin. What does that look like and what are we making?
We're making a mask today using the same matcha, and I've got some kaolin clay.
Ooh, I love masks. Yes. I love doing masks. We all need to do it a little bit more often, but it's my Sunday ritual.
Yes, and it's so easy, and literally it's 2 ingredients to start with. So we're using, when you're working with clay, always use a wooden spoon. So it doesn't, there's like a chemical reaction that happens.
To metal.
Yes,
right.
to metal. So here we go. You're using a tablespoon of clay and using the same half a teaspoon of matcha for our mask. It goes right in there. And really we're just mixing these 2 ingredients together. And you can make extra and keep it in a jar. Like in a glass jar, and just have it on hand whenever you're ready. And anytime you're ready, you'll just add 1 teaspoon of oil. And then
any kind of oil?
Any kind of oil. I'm using almond oil. You can use coconut oil. We all have coconut oil at home. You could even use a nice virgin olive oil as well. You know, so as long as it's a good quality.
So oil
oil, but you're still going to add a little water just to dilute it. And you know, again, it's about a tablespoon of water per recipe, but you'll see the consistency, and then so it's
awesome. So I mean that's it.
That's as simple as that. Yes.
3 ingredients or 4 with water.
Yes.
So we have the matcha, and with the clay, can it be like I use bentonite clay?
Absolutely.
Is that fine?
That's absolutely fine. In the book, I'll go over like all the different clays and their properties, but honestly, you could use any one you've got on hand. Yes.
Great. So we have the matcha, your clay of your choice, an oil of your choice, and water, and you have the perfect purifying mask.
Absolutely.
Is that one of its benefits?
Yes, it's detoxifying. Yes, matcha in particular is detoxifying, and clay at its basic is what it does. It draws out impurities in your skin.
So you can pick a morning.
Pick any morning, because I know you're having either a matcha latte or a coffee every morning. So you could literally...
It's true. So you can choose. So usually we think about, when we're thinking about, having a beautiful little latte and doing a mask, we think weekend, right? That it has to be a Sunday, because Saturday for some reason doesn't even feel as calm as Sunday. So it has to be Sunday, and we have to have the perfect atmosphere to do these things. But in reality, it's just as complicated as putting on any other mask or cleanser or anything that you're doing the day-to-day basis with all the many products that that you might be using.
Yes.
So any morning, pick a morning, you can create a very quick matcha latte, take the matcha and then put it on your face while you're sipping.
Exactly.
5 to 10 minutes later, you would have detoxified. Is that a word? Detoxified. You would have detoxed both inside and out with a primary base ingredient, which is matcha. And we can do that for so many of the things that we eat. Well, so many things that we use to consume, we can also then turn them into something that we can use on the outside.
Exactly.
And that's what Pretty Zen is all about, right? So that's what those two books will help us do, is really balance how to use these ingredients to work both, right? The inward and outward growth of ourselves in a more holistic and nutritious way.
And very simple way, right? Because how long did this take?
I mean, really, it was fast. I mean, even in video time. It was really, really fast. And so I think it's a mindset shift.
Yes.
Like so many other things. When we get out of the hustle and the grind, which we feel like we have to be in order to be productive, especially in the Western world, everything has to be like, we have to go to Starbucks and we have to grab the coffee because it's just the thing that everyone's doing and it just feels rushed. But that same 5 minutes, 10 minutes that it takes you to journey out to get the Starbucks, to grab the coffee, to pay, and all those things you could have made a matcha latte,
right?
Just like that, and did a mask.
Yes,
at the same time. So while you're in the drive-through of Starbucks, you're not able to also have a mask.
Well, you could.
I mean, you could.
But why would you?
People will look. But if you don't care about being judged, I don't care about being judged. Then we could do that too. But then it's hard to take it off. So these are the complications behind the mask at the drive-through. But instead, you can make your matcha latte, do your matcha mask, and live happily ever after.
Absolutely.
For a beautiful day ahead. And it sets the tone for your day, feeling zenful, feeling at peace.
Right? Yes. Yeah. And why not do this on a Monday morning where you've already set yourself up for stress, Set yourself up for something beautiful.
Claim your Mondays.
Yes.
Reclaim your Mondays.
Yes.
Own your shift in your Mondays and say, I'm going to do it differently because I don't have to do it this way. Just because I've always done it or because society tells me, I don't have to do it this way anymore. And I'm going to take the 5, 10, 15 minutes to give this to myself. Even with kids. I know. I have a small, tiny toddler. And taking that time in the morning before she wakes up, and even if it's just that 15 minutes, I give myself the 15 minutes because it's so important.
Amazing.
Yeah. You can do it. You can do it. We can all do it. So thank you so much, Jules, for being here with me today, sharing your knowledge with all of us on how to do this simply, how to create these small shifts in our health, both inside and out, that could create big change within our bodies and in our own universe as we exist around other people. We just need to be better humans.
Absolutely.
For all of us.
Absolutely. And it's so easy. It's so easy.
It doesn't have to be hard.
Yeah.
And we probably really overcomplicate it.
We do. We all do. Yes.
We make this way harder. This whole existence thing, we are making it way too difficult. And we can slow down just enough to do some great things for ourselves.
Yeah, something good. Yes.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm so excited. So make sure that you are checking out Jules. Where can we find you and your beautiful books?
Well, my books are available anywhere. Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, anywhere books are sold.
These are the 2 books that we learned from today, Nourish and Glow and Fresh and Pure, which are available right now. Just fresh off the presses. So if you want to get your hands on 2 amazing books that will help you really maintain your beauty from the inside out, I highly suggest these 2. And find Jules. She's on Instagram.
Yes, Jules Aron is my tag for most of my social media.
Yeah. So find Jules, shout out, tell her that you found her with me, and so that she knows that I'm cool. I think she knows in real life, but just in case, we can always use a little social cred, okay? And thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video or videos like this, please let me know in the comments below, because I am looking forward to collaborating with more amazing entrepreneurs and authors and experts and all that they do, so that I can share their holistic approach to creating the shift that you're looking for in your life as well. So if you like this, leave a comment, subscribe, like this video, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.